Hollywood with John Scott Trotter and his orchestra, the Rhythmaires, and Bing's guests, Victor Moore, Boris Karloff, and Gail Robbins. Now, with Halloween time upon us, we bring you Philco's little hobgoblin with eyes of blue and a pumpkin, too, Bing Crosby.
Hey, listen here. That was a libelous introduction if I've ever heard one. My brother Everett will call on you in the morning.
I'll be glad to see you.
I'll have you know that I've been exercising and I've got rid of my little pumpkin.
No, you haven't really gotten rid of it, Bing. You just moved it around and back.
So that's where it is. I had an idea somebody was following me all day. Part of my equipment, huh? Well, but getting back to Halloween, that's sure a great time of the year.
Yes, it is. You know, Bing, I've carved a very funny face out of a pumpkin.
So I noticed.
Cross!
Say, Ken, you remember when we were on craft together and we had to carve our jack-o'-lanterns out of Velveeta?
What do you think Jolson and I have been doing all week?
Carving. Everyone's getting ready for Halloween. There's a lot of excitement buzzing over at the Crosby Chateau.
Really?
Oh, yes. Gary's carving a jack-o'-lantern, and Lindsay's carving a jack-o'-lantern. The twins are carving each other. And even the moose. You know, my moose is getting ready for the big boogie night. Yeah, he's going to a masquerade party.
Oh, fine. What sort of a costume is your moose wearing?
Well, I think he's putting rubber gloves on his antlers, and he's going as Dr. Kildare. It'd be a smash. And now if I can call on Dr. Trotter and the Rhythmaires. Avec costumes. Oh, they're all smartly dressed tonight. Really turned out you look much better than the 6 hits in the mist. Now, if I can call on Dr. Trotter and the Rhythmaires, and we got them all standing by here just quivering at the leash, ready to leap into the rhythm. We'll head for the hill country. We're going to stir up a little feuding, fighting, and a fussing. Yes, sir. Well. Al Dexter's with us. Beyond the busy highway,
your lady,
beyond the city strife,
your lady.
I thought Judy Canova was on Saturday night. We highly treasure and take great pleasure in our play of life. You may come in. Feuding, a fussing, and a fighting. Sometimes it gets downright exciting. Don't like them ornery neighbors down by the creek. Well, we'll be plumb out of neighbors next week. Grandma, poor old Grandma. Why'd they have to shoot poor Grandma?
Shot her dead.
She lies neath the clover. Seems they caught her bending over, reaching for the fat back, shooting, a fussing and a fighting. This is a wrong that needs a righting. Let's get that funeral service over, so then we'll go feuding and fighting again.
Fighting and feuding and a fussing. That's all that's going on with us.
We are such neighborly people, peaceful and sweet, all except when we happen to meet. Daughter, baby daughter, pies and all the neighbors' chickens.
Daughter, shouldn't daughter.
Least till she could run like the Dickens. They hit her with a stage brace.
Fighting and feuding and a fussing.
Laid it right on her, yes.
No use to standing here a cussing.
Let's give our daughter a pistol now that she's 4 and go feuding and fighting some more.
Fighting and feuding and a fussing.
We ain't a feeling.
What did that stranger want with us? Well, you don't know him?
He was a revenue agent. Yep, he was until the boys had to chuck him in a still.
Liquor, mountain liquor.
It's better now, it kicks you much quicker. Moonshine, mountain moonshine, has a glow that gets you much sicker. What do you hear from your ulcer?
And fighting and a fighting, all is fighting.
This ain't no corner you can brighten. Load up my double-barrel shotgun, I'm getting the end to go feuding and a fussing, a feuding and a fighting, feuding and a fighting all day.
Being in Rhythm Airs. That was slick as a greased ice cube. You know, I bet it sounded especially fine to the folks who were listening in on Philco's.
If you listen to this program on any other set but a Philco, I come out sounding like Hildegard.
Well, is that bad?
That's grand. That's grand. But I want people to hear gravelly a little bit of old me. And incidentally, Carp, you have just committed radio's cardinal sin.
What did I do?
You started this whole thing by admitting there are other radios than Philco's on the market.
Well, I didn't mention any other names, did I?
In this racket, you don't have to. The mere fact that you admit that we have competitors constitutes a schism.
Oh.
Go ahead, Ken. Start talking fast and talk Philco, boy.
With pleasure, Bing. You know, Philco has no competitor when it comes to the easiest way to play records ever invented. Only Philco gives you this new automatic way to play records. All play, no work. Just slide your record in, and it plays. You'll find this exclusive Philco invention now on 3 different Philco models. On a new, inexpensive console, the 1260, on a table model, the famous 1201, the world's largest selling radio phonograph. And it's even portable, too. Yes, now you can take it with you with Philco's new 1200 automatic record player. Whichever model you want, give this unique invention a whirl at your Philco dealer. It's made by the world's largest radio manufacturer, Philco. Famous for quality the world over.
Mr. Jack Mass, exploitation coordinator of the Italian-American Publishing Company, whose president is Mr. Frank Sinatra, has long delivered me with copies of the firm's new song. I sing this now with a double purpose. I shall make character with Mr. Sinatra, and I shall get rid of Mr. Mass. Ain't you ever coming back, ain't you? Can't you see the difference it makes? I'm half myself without your kisses. One more night of doing without 'em will drive me crazy. Won't you make me smile again? Won't you? Just a word is all that it takes. Your hello will let me know that we're the same as we used to be. Oh, ain't you ever coming back to me?
Ain't you ever coming back, ain't you? Can't you see the difference it makes?
I'm half myself without your kisses. One more night of doing without 'em will drive me crazy. Won't you make me smile again, won't you? Just a word is all that it takes. Your hello will let me know that we're the same as we used to be. Oh, ain't you ever coming back to me?
Ain't you ever coming back to me?
The first of Philco's guests to show up this evening is a gentleman who for many years has been the most lovable and heartwarming comedian ever to waddle across the stage or the screen. It's a genuine pleasure to roll out the carpet for the very distinguished actor, Mr. Victor Moore.
Thank you, Bing, for that wonderful introduction. If I'd known you were going to call me very distinguished, I'd have worn my good conduct ribbon.
Victor, I didn't know you were an Army man. Where did you get a good conduct ribbon?
It was given to me by Lee,
Robert E.?
Gypsy Rose. Of course, if she'd met me 40 years ago, I might not have gotten it.
Oh, I'll bet you were a tiger with the girlies back in those days, huh?
Oh, I was a scalawag first class. Beautiful hunk of man Vic, they used to call
Is that
me.
right?
I was the original.
Oh, yeah? Well, that was back at the turn of the century.
Yes, darn it, I wish it had never turned. I'm not the man I used to be.
Don't let it throw you, Vic. If long skirts and bustles can come back, maybe you can, too.
Bang, it's a much longer haul back for me than it was for them. Why, in my last picture, one scene called for me to kiss a girl. Do you know something?
What?
The director had to call in a stuntman to do it for me.
I don't tell me a stuntman is really necessary.
Yeah, they had to do it to save time. Nowadays, when I get hold of a girl, I won't let go.
But Victor, at least you have your memories.
Ah, yes, my memories. What wonderful times I had.
You really lived, huh?
Yes. I wish that I could have had them transcribed so I could release them at this more convenient hour.
Say, look, stick around for a while, Victor. Boris Karloff's dropping in, and we're going to set up a Halloween party. Would you join us, maybe?
Oh, I'd love to, Bing. Halloween's so much fun, you know. When I see those witches fly by, I get an irrepressible urge to fly right after them.
Well, don't you try it. I don't think you get that fuselage off the ground.
Yeah, don't I know it? I have trouble getting it along the ground.
I got that beat. I do all my walking on tiptoe, Vic. But come, you're not so old now.
No,
Really?
just how old would you say I am?
Oh, I'd say you're around 60.
I'm not much around the waist, man. You may not believe this, but I go back to the days when Mickey Rooney was just a kid.
Oh, well, that's before my time, Vic.
Yeah.
Well, gee, the way you talk, a fellow would think you're older than Jolson.
Nobody is.
No,
Jolson was singing on one knee while I was still crawling on both of mine.
Yeah, but he's a pretty amazing fella, that Joel. He's going great. Still going great. Got a show of his own now, you know, and a good show, too.
Yeah, Al's back singing on one knee again. I'm right back on both of mine.
Ah, but he's a great man. What a man, that Jolson. He's going to outlive us all. And I include Margaret O'Brien. While we're on the subject of singers, Vic, I would like you and the folks to meet a young lady who's younger than Jolson, and whether Jolson will admit it or not, she's much prettier. Miss Gail Robbins.
Thank you, Bing.
Gail, may I present Victor Moore?
Mr. Moore, it's really a pleasure to finally meet you. You know, my grandmother has a picture of you in her album.
She does?
Yes. You are a beautiful hunk of man Vic, aren't you?
Oh, yes. You see, Bing, I'm the original.
Imagine this, you're knowing Gail's grandma and everything. I'll be diddly. It's a small world, isn't it?
You know, Mr. Moore, every time Grandmother looks at that picture of you in your bathing suit, she insists the Studebaker people stole their design from you.
They didn't steal it. I made a beautiful book modeling for that car.
Gail, this is your first visit on Philco Radio Time, as the sponsor likes to call it, so perhaps you'd better acquaint the people with your pipes.
Oh, I'd love to, Bing.
And your selection?
I've got a right to sing the blues.
She's got a right to sing the blues.
Well, Gail, here's the microphone. Over yonder is John Scott Trotter. Though you'll have to take my word for it, there's a 30-piece orchestra directly in back of him.